Right now at 6, preparing for thousands of fans to cheer on the Avs.
What we have going here, our area, is unbelievable.
But it's going to be a hot one tomorrow. We're live with the plans to keep you cool.
We have water stations here, misting stations here.
Plus, a couple hiking in Jefferson County held at gunpoint.
As they passed him, he immediately pulled a gun.
And new details tonight show the couple knows the suspect.
Plus, visiting Colorado's gems takes more planning than usual.
We don't actually decrease the amount of use. What we do is we primarily spread the use out.
And this model doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon.
This is not a theme park. This is the wilderness. This is beauty. This is Mother Nature.
And good evening, and thank you for watching Denver 7 News at 6. I'm Ann Trujillo.
I'm Shannon Ogden. Glad you're with us tonight. We have a Denver 7 weather action day in effect for these hot temperatures in the Front Range. They're here as more than 10,000 people are expected to attend the outdoor official Avs watch party for Game 2 tomorrow.
And we'll get into how organizers plan to keep you cool and hydrated in a moment. We start first with meteorologist Stacey Donaldson. And Stacey, not quite a record today, but boy, we were close.
We were so close. 100, the record today. We hit 99 officially at the airport. The average high this time of year, it should only be in the low to mid 80s for the Front Range. And instead, we're closer to 100, which is why the National Weather Service issued a heat advisory here for the Denver area all the way across the Eastern Plains. It's in effect until 9 p.m. tonight because we are still in the 80s and 90s here for our area. This is going to be an extended period of heat going well into the night. Our temperatures in the mountains in the 60s and 70s, but right here in Denver, we have 86 downtown, 90 in Littleton, and 93 in Aurora. Now, we are going to be cooling things down tonight into the 60s, but we also have scattered showers off to our west. I don't think we'll see a whole lot of rain here in Denver, but we do have a chance over the weekend. I'll have your complete weekend forecast coming up.
All right, thank you, Stacey. And organizers of the Avs watch party at Tivoli Quad in the Auraria campus say they're ready for the heat and the crowds tomorrow.
Denver 7's Russell Haythorne is joining us live tonight. Russell, you heard from organizers about their extra efforts to keep everyone cool and hydrated.
Yeah, and it's going to be hot. We know that, so be prepared. On their end, organizers say they're taking extra precautions to make sure you stay safe, stay hydrated, and don't overheat.
We have water stations here, misting stations here, and medical care for everyone. We just encourage everybody to wear sunscreen, a hat, preferably an Avs hat, and drink lots of water.
Lots of water, that is good advice. The Avs team store was packed today. Fans just can't seem to get enough. And here's another watch party option for the away games, which are happening next Monday and Wednesday nights. The team is once again opening Ball Arena. This time, tickets will cost $20 for those watch parties.
And the fans get it. This is similar to what we've seen in other buildings around the league with the finals. That money goes to Cronky Sports Charities.
All of it?
All of it goes to that, to Cronky Sports Charities. And remember, the Auraria campus is still open, so you've got choices. But what we've tried to do is find as many ways as possible for Avs faithful to connect to the brand.
So as for that watch party over at the Tivoli Quad tomorrow, again, it starts at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Gates will open right at 3 o'clock, and they are excited. They're expecting to reach capacity, which is 10,000 fans. And again, they will have extra water stations. They'll have misters out, and you can also bring your own water. And of course, they'll have plenty of adult drinks as well. We're live at Ball Arena tonight. Russell Haythorne, back to you guys.
Yeah, that part was a given there. Russ, thank you very much. And if you're not going to go to the game or to the big watch party, we have you covered for Game 2 and every game right here on Denver 7. Tomorrow, we have pregame coverage starting at 5:30, ahead of the game at 6. I'm going to be out there anchoring from near Ball Arena. Our postgame show, of course, will begin right after the game.
And as the temperatures continue to rise throughout this summer, you might head to the high country to find some relief. And the only problem is you will likely have a lot of company with others thinking the same way. And when it comes to some of our state's hiking hotspots, that will mean booking a reservation. Denver 7's Colette Bordelon explains how a tactic implemented during COVID is here to stay.
From point A to point B.
That's right.
That's the whole point of any bus.
My name is Owen. I'll take you up there.
But this bus has Owen O'Farrell behind the wheel.
So for safety's sake, it's a good idea not to yell and scream at me.
A New Yorker who hasn't lost his charm.
I'm from Brooklyn, so I don't mind calling you out on it.
Every day, his route takes passengers to one of the most iconic views in all of Colorado.
I know that some of you guys are probably a little annoyed that we couldn't just drive there, and I certainly understand that. But there's a real good reason for these buses.
O'Farrell knows his bus isn't about the trip. It's about the destination.
This place got completely out of control back in the 1970s.
Saying this road leading up to Maroon Bells was at one point packed with cars.
The grass started to recede away from the edge of the road, which is a really bad sign apparently.
That's when the buses first hit the road.
And as soon as they did, the whole ecosystem turned around almost immediately. It's absolutely gorgeous up there.
Then the pandemic kicked a reservation system into action.
We don't actually decrease the amount of use. What we do is we primarily spread the use out.
And when up at the Bells,
What is there not to love?
it's easy to see why the place is so popular.
This is not a theme park. This is the wilderness. This is beauty. This is Mother Nature.
Only around 10% of people are walk-ups. The rest are reservations. The goal is protecting both the experience and the ecosystem.
It helps for the wildlife to be able to feel like, okay, we know when the people are there, we know when they're not.
A minute when it's quiet at Maroon Bells. It's something everyone from all walks of life can appreciate.
Colorado is a beautiful spot to come and visit, and we're all going to have more and more people coming to visit.
With those who know the system well, saying this kind of managed use is the way of the future for certain spots.
It really is, because you guys were good enough to get out of your cars. So we appreciate that, we thank you.
And back on the bus.
And hopefully our great grandkids will get a chance to see this beautiful valley as well.
O'Farrell believes every trip he makes means more for the destination. Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
And by the way, Hanging Lake Trail near Glenwood Springs is getting ready to reopen to the public next weekend. It's been closed since mudslides tore through Glenwood Canyon last year. And Hanging Lake is one of the most popular trails in our state, and reservations are needed. And we'll get a preview of the renovated trail next Friday ahead of it opening to the public next Saturday.
Now, earlier this week, the state's auditor released a report saying CPW can do a better job managing the campsite reservation system at the parks. CPW offers more than 4,200 overnight campsites for public use. Between January 1st and September 7th, this is last year, the report found more than 1,500 sites were closed for at least one night. But because of poor data reporting, the auditor could not determine which of those closures were reasonable closures. The report says those closed sites, though, would have brought in $1.9 million in additional fee revenue.
A husband and wife hiking near Bear Creek Lake Park in Jefferson County were rescued today after deputies say a man tried to kidnap them at gunpoint. Well, new tonight, deputies say that man has a history of harassing the woman. This is 73-year-old Kerry Ensley. He is a well-known real estate agent in Jeffco. And deputies say the couple walked past Ensley, who was leaned over tying his shoe, when he, officers say, held them at gunpoint. And that gun was later determined to be a stun gun. And they say Ensley put a nylon leash around the woman's neck. Deputies say if it wasn't for a man walking by who called 911, this could have ended much worse. When deputies arrived, they tased Ensley after he pointed a stun gun at them, and he is now in custody.
4 teenagers have been charged with disorderly conduct after causing a lockdown at Northfield High School 2 days after the Uvalde, Texas school shooting. The DA's office says one of the boys brought a splatterball gun to school that they shoot those small water beads. The 3 others were involved, but the district attorney did not explain how, and because of their ages, these students were not identified.
Colorado's primary is June 28th, and last week we told you about some TV ads Republicans have raised concerns with. Well, today they are calling out some paper ads that voters are receiving in the mail, saying they're not just deceptive, but possibly illegal. Denver 7 political reporter Megan Lopez explains.
First,
too conservative for Colorado.
It started with ads like that one, pitting 2 GOP candidates against one another. Ads paid for by Democratic groups that the GOP says are just plain deceptive. Now the state's Republicans are crying foul over some political mailers being sent to voters just days before a primary that they say are not just deceptive, but illegal. The mailers once again focus their attention on Ron Hanks. On one side, it's touted as the true conservative voter guide. On the other, it focuses on the candidate's records.
My objection is not not to the content of these ads. We let the campaigns debate that out and prove their own records.
What Colorado GOP Chair Christy Burton Brown does have a problem with is this, a portion of the ad claiming that the party has endorsed Hanks.
The Colorado Republican Party cannot endorse candidates in a primary. Our bylaws instruct us to be neutral in primaries. We provide equal opportunities to every candidate.
Burton Brown worries this could sway the opinions of some Republican voters.
So people who think that we're actually putting our stamp on this and telling people who they should vote for really hurts our integrity as a party, our neutrality, the trust our candidates have in us.
But that's not the only issue Republicans have raised over these ads. Senate candidate Joe O'Dea has filed a lawsuit over them because nowhere on the ads does it say who paid for them, which violates federal election laws.
It's absolutely required. If you don't have it on your mailer or on your television ad or your internet broadcast or something, it's a dead bang campaign finance violation.
Republicans insist Democratic groups are once again behind these ads, but because there's no name on it, it's unclear at this point. There is a very small logo on the mailers that links back to a union based in Iowa and the Christian Edwards print shop, which is known to mainly work with Democratic groups. Our phone calls to the shop were not returned, but election attorney Mario Nicholas says even if the lawsuit is successful,
are they being fined, and is it enough? Is it one that'll dissuade people from doing it in the future? Also, if this is just a pop-up organization, have they folded by the time they get fined?
And lawsuits take time, so the election might already be over when all of this is settled.
Or there are some organizations who look at it as, hey, this is the cost of doing business.
So all Republicans can really do is get the word out about these ads and hope voters pay attention. Megan Lopez, Denver 7.
And Republicans were accused in 2018 of using some deceptive tactics of their own in ads during the John Hickenlooper and Andrew Romanoff primary. However, Burton Brown says the National Republican Senate Committee put its name on the ad, so she says the two situations are very different.
Everyone deserves to feel like a king or queen.
Pageants are bringing up the best.
A group of women in Denver is giving young people the tools to do it.
It's to help build her confidence, to let her know how gorgeous she is inside and out.